It was discovered at that time Terry Bollea, also known as Hulk Hogan, was experiencing a serious medical-related issue. Personnel provided medical treatment at that time and transported Mr. Bollea to Morton Plant Hospital, where he died at 11:17 a.m. The Clearwater Police Department is conducting a death investigation, which is standard in these types of cases. There are no signs of foul play or suspicious activity related to this call for service at this time.
The sad news comes just a few weeks after his wife, Sky, had to deny rumours he was in a coma after facing health issues. Hogan is believed to have suffered a cardiac arrest at his Florida home. According to reports, medics were dispatched.
Hulk Hogan, a name that defined generations, has reportedly passed away, sending a wave of emotion through the entire sports and entertainment world. Across social media, tributes poured in, including a brief message from Joe Rogan on X. His post simply read, "Rest easy, brother." Though short, the message carried weight, especially coming from someone who's often acknowledged Hogan's massive influence on pop culture during his podcasts and interviews with guests who grew up watching wrestling icons.
So what are they gonna do when the power of the Hulkster and the Roadster and the Dual 24
Hulk Hogan, the legendary figure who helped launch professional wrestling into the national spotlight and became one of the most iconic names in the sport, has sadly passed away at the age of 71. According to officials in Clearwater, Florida, police and WWE confirmed that Hogan was taken to a local hospital after authorities responded to a cardiac emergency call on Thursday morning. He was officially pronounced dead at 11:17 a.m. No foul play or suspicious circumstances have been reported. WWE later shared a message on X expressing their deep sorrow, honoring Hogan as one of the most influential personalities in pop culture. They credited him with playing a key role in taking WWE to a global level during the 1980s. The organization extended heartfelt condolences to his loved ones, fans, and the entire wrestling community.
The original wrestler, wasn't he? The over-the-top poster boy who helped take the sport mainstream all through the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. Everyone knew who he was, even if you didn't really follow wrestling. You'd heard of Hulk Hogan. Sadly, he had a heart attack this morning at his home in Florida. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. But he wasn't just famous for his shirt-shredding antics in the ring. He also had a number of TV shows under his belt, including his own reality TV show.
Wrestling legend Ric Flair was among the first to publicly react to the heartbreaking news. Clearly shaken, Flair shared his emotions online, saying he was completely shocked and heartbroken. He spoke about his decades-long friendship with Hogan, calling him the most iconic figure the wrestling world has ever seen. Flair described Hogan as a phenomenal athlete, a gifted performer, and above all, a loyal friend. "Rest in peace, my brother," he concluded with heartfelt sincerity. Triple H, WWE's current chief content officer, also paid tribute. He reflected on Hogan's rare impact, noting that only a handful of individuals have ever transformed an entire industry, and Hogan was undoubtedly one of them. Triple H praised Hogan's unmatched charisma and dedication, saying those qualities brought global attention to wrestling. He closed by extending his thoughts to Hogan's family, friends, and the millions of fans around the world who admired him.
We will not be answering any questions, but we will provide additional information when it becomes available. Any public records request should be filed through our public records section with the Clearwater Police Department. No records will be released today. Our thoughts are with the family, and again, we ask everyone to respect their privacy during this difficult time. Thank you.
Former WWE Chairman Vince McMahon also expressed his sorrow in a heartfelt message shared on X, calling Hogan a true legend. McMahon wrote that the world had lost a treasure. He described Hogan as the greatest WWE superstar in history, a global icon who was admired by millions. McMahon highlighted Hogan's role as a pioneer, the first to transform from a wrestling sensation into a full-fledged pop culture phenomenon. He praised Hogan's relentless drive and deep connection with his fans, saying the star gave everything he had to entertain and inspire. He ended with Hogan's signature motto, "Train, take your vitamins, and say your prayers." McMahon added, "Today we pray for him." Former U.S. President Donald Trump also paid tribute through a post on Truth Social, referring to Hogan as a great friend. Trump said Hogan was strong, smart, and full of heart. He recalled Hogan's energetic speech at the Republican National Convention, calling it one of the most memorable moments of the entire event. Trump closed with warm wishes to Hogan's wife, Sky, and his family, saying that the Hulkster will be deeply missed, that I end the days before his passing. There had been no major public signs of health trouble. However, close sources later revealed that Hogan had shown signs of fatigue and had skipped several meetings connected to an upcoming business deal with Hooters. Despite these minor concerns, there were no reports suggesting he was in serious condition, which made Thursday's news all the more shocking to fans and colleagues alike. AW President Tony Khan also shared his condolences shortly after the announcement. Very sorry to hear of Hulk Hogan's passing, Khan said. He brought millions of fans into wrestling and helped define the industry. My thoughts are with his family and the countless fans who loved him.
The Colorado Police Department is conducting a death investigation, which is standard in these types of cases. There are no signs of foul play or suspicious activity related to this call for service at this time. I'm strongly encouraging everyone to keep the family in their thoughts and respect their privacy during this difficult time.
Ronda Rousey, former UFC champion and WWE superstar, also shared her heartfelt tribute. She recalled how Hulk Hogan was the very first name she ever associated with wrestling, saying he was the reason she began watching as a child. In her words, "Everything I have in this business traces back to the path he helped create. Rest in peace." Daniel Cormier also reacted by posting a photo of Hogan on his Instagram story along with the words, "Damn, this one stings. Childhood icon. Rest up, Hulk." Michael Bisping joined in the wave of tributes, commenting under a memorial post with a powerful message. Truly the end of an era. Legend doesn't even begin to describe him.
Certainly one that wasn't without controversy, but a remarkable one nonetheless. He was, of course, in the 80s and not like Rocky III. And this morning we have seen a tribute from his co-star Sylvester Stallone, who's written on social media.
As the day unfolded, more fighters from across combat sports continued to honor Hulk Hogan with emotional tributes. Sean Ali shared a gif of Hogan striking his iconic ear-cupping pose with a simple caption, "Legend." Aljamain Sterling added Hogan's classic entrance music to his Instagram story, paying tribute through the sound that once shook arenas. Kevin Holland briefly updated his Instagram bio to include the word brother, a clear nod to Hogan's legendary catchphrase. Jake Paul, who's made waves in both boxing and MMA circles, posted on X, "I grew up watching Hulk, one of the realest. Big prayers up." His brother Logan Paul, who has appeared with Hogan at WWE events in the past, wrote on Threads, "Was lucky to meet him. Kind, powerful, iconic. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan."
Cardiac arrest. I'll tell you, I did a show with him, Objectified, and he literally told me, he said, "I don't think I have any original body parts left." He was so beaten up by wrestling, which everybody says is a fake sport. I mean, I can't remember the number of back surgeries, but it was just unbelievable. And I think he said he's had over 50 surgeries. So he was really beaten up. And the EMTs came out to his house in Florida, right? Yeah.
Gilbert Melendez took to Facebook to share his thoughts on Hulk Hogan's legacy. He wrote that wrestling laid the foundation for fight culture, and Hogan was the seed that started it all. UFC Fight Pass also honored the wrestling icon by releasing a tribute video that featured clips of Hogan's early crossover appearances in MMA promotional content. Across the combat sports community, several MMA gyms have posted throwback photos and memorabilia from the era when Hogan's image still decorated their training room walls. Top coaches like Trevor Whitman and Javier Mendez also paid their respects, highlighting Hogan's lasting impact, especially when it comes to how fighters carry themselves during walkouts, post-fight promos, and interactions with fans.
Before I get into the gist of today's information, just as a Floridian, as somebody that grew up in West Central Florida, I was sad to see the news that Hulk Hogan passed away today. He was a major icon for anybody in Gen X. I can tell you, growing up then in the 80s and particularly the early 90s, he was really big. And he actually really was a star first before even he was Hulkamania, but when he was Thunder Lips in Rocky III. And that was
Ariel Helwani, speaking during the MMA Hour, emphasized that Hulk Hogan's influence extended far beyond professional wrestling. This guy practically pioneered the modern combat sports walkout, Helwani said. The way fighters make their entrance today, a lot of that started with Hogan. Chael Sonnen also reflected on Hogan's legacy during his podcast. He said, "If you didn't live through the 80s and 90s, it's hard to understand how massive Hogan really was. He wasn't just a top name in wrestling, he was wrestling. This is a monumental loss." Jorge Masvidal, a longtime fan of pro wrestling, shared a nostalgic photo of himself alongside Hogan. He captioned it, "One of the coolest moments of my life. R.I.P. to the GOAT." Even Khabib Nurmagomedov paid silent tribute, reposting an image of Hogan holding the American flag on his Telegram channel. A quiet but powerful gesture, shared without any words.
Celebrity, his signature blonde hair, his ripping of his shirt before a match, truly one of the legends of the sports world and of the wrestling world. And we'll wait to hear more confirmation. But right now, again, TMZ reporting that Hulk Hogan has passed away at the age of 71.
Jeff Paul, thank you for getting us at least a little bit more information about this. Not just a wrestling legend, but also an
Across the MMA world, countless fighters and personalities shared their grief, many pointing to how Hulk Hogan had inspired them long before they stepped into a cage or ring. Colby Covington, known for his bold, patriotic persona that closely mirrors the energy Hogan brought to pro wrestling, posted a short but powerful message. "Thank you for inspiring a whole generation of real Americans. Hulkamania will live forever." Covington, who has often credited Hogan as a major influence on his own entertainment style, once again paid tribute to the man whose charisma helped shape his public identity. Former UFC welterweight and current fight analyst Alan Jubin also shared a brief yet heartfelt message. R.I.P. to the legend Hulk Hogan, a simple but sincere nod from someone who grew up with wrestling before transitioning into MMA. Aryan Singh Bhullar, heavyweight contender in one championship and former Olympian, kept it short and symbolic, simply posting Hulkamania, capturing how Hogan's name alone represented the spirit of an entire generation.
Like him, hate him, whatever. If you were born in the 1980s, late 70s, you knew Hulk Hogan. You knew the immortal Hulk Hogan. Whether you think he's a racist, or you think he's an asshole, or you think he's anything. But he passed away, man. Like, I, for one, was a Hulkamania going all the way back. I've actually met the man, and amazing human being. His daughter,
UFC flyweight Cody Durden shared his respects with a message that read, "Rest in peace to the legend Hulk Hogan." Alongside an old match poster featuring Hogan in his prime, former UFC light heavyweight Tom Lawler echoed the sentiment of many in the combat sports world, writing, "Hulkster in heaven." His message reflected the belief that Hogan wasn't just a wrestler. He was a larger-than-life figure whose legacy felt almost mythical. Jake Paul also responded with a mix of surprise and gratitude, posting, "What the R.I.P. legend. Always appreciated your kind words." Longtime MMA referee and Bellator analyst Big John McCarthy added a thoughtful tribute of his own. "R.I.P. to Hulk Hogan. I'm not here to talk about his flaws. He was a hero to many."
He was 71 years old. Hogan, whose real name was Terry Gene Bollea, rose to pro wrestling fame in the 1980s and 90s, facing everyone from Andre the Giant to The Rock. He won several WWE championships and really expanded his celebrity status with the VH1 reality show Hogan.
Big John McCarthy reflected on the complex nature of Hogan's public life, noting that while opinions may vary for countless fans, especially those who grew up during Hogan's prime, he symbolized courage, strength, and a powerful, unshakable presence in the spotlight. Georges St-Pierre also offered a rare and heartfelt tribute. "They say you should never meet your heroes," GSP shared, "but meeting Hulk Hogan only made me respect him more. He was incredibly kind. He'll be missed." Coming from someone as private and composed as GSP, this warm tribute hints at a meaningful personal interaction. likely during one of the crossover events or collaborative promotions between UFC and WWE over the years.
Confirming that news, and news also about some of the details. We are also hearing that medics were dispatched to the 71-year-old WWE legend's home earlier today, with operators stating that it was regarding, quote, a cardiac arrest. Now, Hulk Hogan transformed professional wrestling into family entertainment. Before him, of course, wrestling was pretty much a fairly narrow audience. Hulk's theatrics, though, in the ring was absolutely magnetic for children, for parents, and it supercharged the sport. He then created...
The wave of tributes to Hulk Hogan also extended beyond the world of sports and entertainment into public life.u.s. Vice President J.D. Vance shared his own reflection, saying, "Hulk Hogan was a true American icon, one of the first people I ever genuinely looked up to as a kid." His message echoed a broader sentiment in political circles, where Hogan was seen not just as a performer, but as a symbol of American grit, energy, and charisma. At the local level, the mayor of Clearwater, Florida, Bruce Rector, issued a formal statement honoring Hogan's legacy. "Terry was a source of inspiration for our entire Clearwater community," he wrote. "Our thoughts and prayers are with his family. His presence and legacy will always be a part of Clearwater." The tribute wasn't just official, it became deeply personal for many. Fans gathered outside Hogan's beachfront gym, laying flowers, notes, and memorabilia in an emotional show of appreciation for a man who had called Clearwater home for many years.
This morning, he was 71 years old. Hogan, whose real name was Terry Jean Bollea, rose to pro wrestling fame in the 1980s and 90s, facing everyone from Andre the Giant to The Rock. He won several WWE championships and really expanded his celebrity status with the VH1 reality show.
As the news continued to ripple through the wrestling world, more iconic names came forward to honor Hulk Hogan's legacy. John Cena, a modern-era WWE superstar, paid tribute with a powerful visual. A photo from WrestleMania 3 showing Hogan lifting Andre the Giant. Though Cena didn't include a caption, the image alone spoke volumes, capturing one of the most unforgettable moments in wrestling history and symbolizing Hogan's unmatched impact on the sport. The Undertaker also released a statement saying, "The wrestling world has lost a true legend. His contributions to the business are beyond measure." Shawn Michaels, a fellow Hall of Famer, added his voice as well. "A legend. A presence larger than life. Rest in peace, Hulkster."
Right now, if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan winning his first heavyweight championship off of an Iron Sheik with matches so iconic at WrestleMania 6 with the Ultimate Warrior here in Toronto, the little heart is breaking. I am a Hulkamaniac from the very, very start. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan.
Jim Ross, the legendary wrestling commentator and longtime talent scout, offered a powerful comparison to express the weight of Hogan's passing. "I equate Hulk's death to Major League Baseball losing Babe Ruth," Ross said. "Hulk was the biggest star pro wrestling has ever seen." His words underscored the magnitude of the moment, not just a personal loss for fans, but a true generational shift in the world of sports entertainment. Jake the Snake Roberts, one of Hogan's fiercest in-ring rivals during the late 80s and early 90s, shared a deeply emotional message. "It's hard to put into words what Terry, Hulk Hogan, Bollea meant to professional wrestling. His memory and legacy will live on forever." Though their battles inside the ring were legendary, their mutual respect lasted well beyond their active careers, a testament to the brotherhood formed in the golden era of wrestling.
I don't know. Cops, everybody's there. Yeah. Active employees should be showing this. They're looking at you, man.
Tributes to Hulk Hogan also poured in from across the entertainment world, with several celebrities reflecting on his impact beyond the wrestling ring. Sylvester Stallone shared a heartfelt message on Instagram, remembering their time together on Rocky III. "He was absolutely wonderful," Stallone wrote. "His incredible talent made Rocky III truly unforgettable. My heart breaks." Their iconic scene remains one of the most memorable crossovers between Hollywood and professional wrestling. Actress Brooke Shields also paid tribute, writing, "Rest easy, Hulk." That moment was a true highlight, sending love to his family and everyone who loved him. Musician Travis Barker posted a black and white photo of Hogan with a child, simply captioned with a broken heart emoji, a silent but touching gesture. Diplo honored Hogan as a Florida legend, sharing a collection of vintage wrestling clips as a nod to Hogan's legacy in his home state. Actor Mario Lopez, known for his love of 80s and 90s pop culture, wrote, "Hearing about Hulk Hogan's passing hits deep. It feels like a piece of my childhood is gone. Rest easy, brother. Forever a legend."
Is reporting medics were called to his home in Clearwater, Florida, at his Clearwater, Florida home early this morning for a cardiac arrest call. Hulk Hogan is known for helping to transform professional wrestling into a family sport. The exact cause of death has not been released. He was 71.
Tributes to Hulk Hogan also continued from across the broader sports world. Olympic gold medalist and MMA fighter Kayla Harrison kept it short and powerful, tweeting, "Heroes live forever. R.I.P. Hulk." Brendan Loughnane of the Professional Fighters League reflected on Hogan's widespread influence, saying, "At some point, every locker room had a Hogan poster on the wall." Former Strikeforce champion Gilbert Melendez reiterated a sentiment he had previously shared. Wrestling laid the foundation of fight culture, and Hogan was the seed. Beyond the tributes, new details have surfaced about Hogan's final plans. One of his most recent projects, Real American Freestyle, had announced its first live event set for August 30th, 2025, with Hogan slated to serve as the promotion's commissioner. His involvement underscored his ongoing passion for combat sports and his desire to shape its next chapter, right up until the end.
So celebrities die in threes. Within the past 3 days, we've lost Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne, and Hulk Hogan. Now, I want to say RIP to Malcolm Jamal Warner and Ozzy Osbourne, but Hulk Hogan? Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Now, let me tell you something, brother. You were a racist piece of called a black man the N-word with the hard R because your daughter was dating a black man. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Racist lives do not matter. Racism does not fly with
Hogan's most recent business endeavor, Real American Freestyle, aimed to bring back the energy of old school wrestling while blending it with modern branding. A small but promising roster had already been signed, and leadership has now confirmed that the promotion's debut event on August 30th, 2025 will move forward, this time as a tribute to Hogan himself. Special segments honoring his legacy are expected to be featured throughout the live broadcast. Outside the ring, Hogan had also been making waves in the business world. His craft beverage brand, Real American Beer, was quickly growing its market share across the Southeast. Hogan had also initiated talks to acquire and rebrand the Hooters franchise, a move that had already entered the negotiation phase as of June. While the future of that acquisition remains uncertain, executives from Real American Beer have committed to moving forward with a plan, describing Hogan's business vision as both bold and inspirational. Meanwhile, new developments have surfaced, including the public release of the 911 call audio related to Hogan's passing, a sobering reminder of the suddenness of his departure.
Huge deal. I mean, obviously that was a great movie franchise with Sylvester Stallone. So he was Thunderlips, and then a couple years later became the World Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion. And, as a young kid, I'm growing up and it's that was somebody's wow, that's our superhero kind of deal. And
reports indicate that Hulk Hogan was found unresponsive and not breathing when emergency crews arrived. Paramedics reportedly performed CPR for over 30 minutes before rushing him to Morton Plant Hospital. Sources close to the situation noted Hogan had been dealing with pre-existing neck issues and underwent surgery earlier this year. However, at this time, no confirmed connection has been made between that procedure and the cardiac event. His family has remained largely out of the public eye. Brooke Hogan posted a black screen with a broken heart emoji on her Instagram story, choosing not to add any words. As of this report, Nick Hogan has not issued any statement. Hogan's wife, Sky Daly, has requested privacy and has not spoken publicly, even as reporters gathered near their Florida home. This is a developing story, and we'll continue to monitor any official updates. Folded Hands, what are your thoughts on Hogan's legacy? Speech balloon, drop your tribute or memory in the comments below. Bell, don't forget to subscribe for more updates as they come in. See you in the next one.